Dave, we are back for another episode. It's only a couple days later, and we're at Elliot Street Pub here, coming to you live.
Right.
Or remote.
Can you believe that?
I know, I can't. And, yeah, we pulled it off. Let's see if this little power generator gives us enough power to keep going, and these kids with the soccer ball take down the equipment. It could get exciting.
Do you want to show the live audience what the tailgate looks like?
We got the tailgate rocking.
For those of you who are just on the podcast, we got cameras going of us and on the tailgate, so you can see the people and come on by.
Absolutely. And we've got Sporting KC today, right?
Correct.
And sticking to the theme of the podcast, we're drinking some red wine here.
Correct.
Thank you for
Cheers.
bringing. What do we have? You got the bottle over there.
It's a Barolo. It's an Italian Cavalli. It's real nice. Even in the parking lot, dear podcast listeners, we're drinking delicious red wine.
Classy.
Come on.
You stay classy, Atlanta. So, in our last podcast, we talked about today being a tough day for Atlanta United because we obviously are not at our 100% squad, and we're facing a team that has an identity and a coach that has established kind of a system over 14 years.
Right, yeah. So tough ass today.
And I don't know if you watch any of the MLS opener games over the weekend.
Caught some of the highlights, some really nice goals.
Vela in LAFC is coming strong with a hat trick out of the gate.
Opening day. And they were playing, according to the power rankings, Colorado was supposed to be good. Now, if you listen to the first episode of the podcast, we were a little doubtful of that, and I think LAFC may have proven us correct.
And there was also a New England Portland game yesterday that I caught at least the first half of that. Both teams look like they're kind of coming out of the gates pretty strong in terms of just looking somewhat polished. Not a big surprise with a Bruce Arena coach team with the Revolution looking like they're going to be in the running for the Supporter Shield again. Yeah,
2-2 draw. Really terrific opening game. I mean, two good teams, probably a fair result, right?
Agreed. So what do you think about today? So we talked about the starting lineup. Has anything changed in your mind in terms of who we're going to start today? And what
so, of course, we still don't have any information, since when Heinze was in charge, we got the starting lineup tweeted very early, so we might have had it already. We're coming to you at 1 o'clock. We're 2 hours before kickoff. But ever since Pineda's been in charge, they don't tweet the starting lineup until close to 30 minutes before. So we don't know. We're sitting here. We don't know the starting lineup. But I actually think, I'm going to make some predictions. I think that Moreno and Lennon, the two guys who are not, out due to visa or green card kind of issues, I think that both of them are going to make it. And so, because I think what they've been doing is just bringing them along, slowly, and maybe they're going to be in the starting lineup. If that's the case, this is what I'm really interested to see today. I had an idea, right? So we've been talking about, Hernandez as maybe the much better defensive right back. And I think, Lennon is a much more attacking player, serving balls, right? I'm wondering if you might see both today.
Yeah.
We see Hernandez playing behind Lennon might be a really interesting combination. And that would allow you to play Araujo out on the left where he's naturally not an inverted winger.
And so no Jake Mulroney, you're saying?
Mulroney's out.
Okay.
He's injured too.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Okay, so then yes. I don't know what else you would shift to have a little bit more of an attack on the support of Moreno and Araujo. Of course, we've got Joseto that's going to be, pushing up as well. And we don't think Moreno is going to be available today, correct?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that Moreno makes it.
Okay.
I think they're being cautious with him all along, and he's ready to go for opening day. Now, we don't have any. It's so frustrating. We really don't have any true insider information. They won't share anything, so we don't know. And by all accounts, you don't want a player who hasn't played any preseason games like Lennon or Moreno in the starting lineup. But do we have a choice?
Yeah, I agree. And the other question is Franco should not be able to play, right? He got a red card at the end of the LA.
He's out for sure.
He's out for sure. Okay.
Yeah, he cannot play no matter what.
So that means we're going to see George Campbell then.
George Campbell, and Robinson are going to be the back two. It's very clear that Gutman's going to be the left back. I'm almost for sure you're going to see Osvaldo at the defensive mid, probably along with Josetu. Obviously, Araujo and Martinez definitely in the starting lineup. The other question is, who are the other two?
Yeah.
If Moreno's not available, which is very possible, then I think you're probably going to see Wolf. Could you imagine starting on opening day with Tyler Wolf?
We talked about that last night over some Coronas, and I think we will see Wolf, who's only 19 years old. That's a lot to ask of him on opening day, but might be what we are forced to do.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy, with all the absentees that we have, and it's a bit crazy that we don't know. We don't know, It seems like, we should know whether or not Lennon and Moreno are injured or whether they're really available.
Yeah. Now, we got an awesome tailgate. I think the crew is making some tacos here, Latino style, watching the Caribou Cup, which is Liverpool-Chelsea, right?
Right.
And if you're a betting person, you would bet Christian Pulisic with all the trophies he's won in the last year.
Yeah, Pulisic is finally doing his thing, right? And, obviously, English Premier League football in the parking lot here, right? I think, as far as I know, it's still 0-0. There was a goal, but it was maybe called back.
Yeah, I don't know. No Lukaku, obviously, which is a lot of the talk in that game, who hasn't been in form. But speaking of strikers, who we're up against today, right, is Johnny Russell, right? He's put in a couple on Atlanta United in the past and is a pretty good threat. What can you expect of our competition today?
Well, they're just a solid team, right? They just play team football. They don't get too exposed. They don't do anything real special either, right? They don't score a lot of goals. They don't give up a lot of goals. They're just a solid team. They tend to, in general, score 2 goals a game. They tend to, in general, give up 1 goal a game. But this is a problem for us. Normally, you'd say, okay, look, here at the Benz, they're going to have a hard time scoring against our back four, and then you just let the new term, right? Have you heard this? Mama.
No.
Right?
Oh, no, that's the one.
Instead of Bam, we now have Mama.
Yeah, it was going to be Mamba for a while. I don't know, but yeah, Mama.
Now it's Mama, right? So this is Moreno,
Araujo, Martinez,
and Almeida. Mm-hmm. So that was our attacking quartet, although today we only have Ma. Yo Ma.
Now, what formation does Kansas City typically play?
They have been playing a 4-3-3 ever since Vermes was born. Basically, they don't do anything. They don't change tactically. They don't. I mean, this is what they know who they are, right? And they don't change anything. I was just checking the Twitters to see whether or not they might have released the starting lineup yet. Still no lineup.
Still no lineup. Yeah, they were slower and slower to release the lineups, I felt, towards the end of last year as well.
Yeah, I think under Pineda, for whatever reason, he doesn't like to do it early, and that's very different. So,
Dave, what else you got? What else do we want to talk about leading into is it 3 o'clock kick, or is it slightly after?
This is another thing, right? So it's scheduled 3 o'clock, but you have to go to the depths of the internet to find out whether it's really 3:11 and 35 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
I will say I wanted to bring this up. So for those of you who are on the YouTube, you can probably see this. For those of you who are just on the podcast, I'm holding up a bracelet that they sent this year to all of the supporters who had season tickets since the inaugural season. So they give out, little tchotchkes every year. This is a rubber bracelet, and I originally thought it had some, signaling, whatever. I don't think it does. It literally just has a QR code. But the interesting thing, this QR code, when you search it, right, what it comes up with is the chants from the supporter section. So have you seen this?
No.
Let me show you.
Something like we got chants here. Look at this. So chants like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to get into the stadium again. How about you? And hear some of this.
Absolutely.
I love the sounds of Mercedes-Benz. And that's happening live here in about, what, 2 hours?
2 hours, people.
All right. Woo! Love it.
Yeah, so this here is actually the chance. And there's, I've looked through them carefully, and there's a good and a bad. You want to hear the good first or the bad?
I like the bad first.
Okay, so the bad is, as we've been talking about, none of these are for any player.
Oh, right? No player chance, of course.
Right? I mean, can we please, we're going to beg you one more time out there, can we please have a chant? I can understand maybe not yet having a chant for Almada. We don't really know what he does yet, so maybe we got to wait a second. But how could we not have a chant really for Martinez? I mean, no, there's a little one, Joseph Martinez, but let's have one that actually has some lyrics about what Joseph does for us.
Well, how does Miles Robinson not have one? I don't get. I mean, come on, that's
or Guzan,
an easy name, Guzan. Yeah, so those are two that should just be checked off quickly.
So these are all general. They have the we are the A from way down south.
Yeah, that's the only original one.
Yeah, that was apparently invented on opening day. Right behind us, we have a picture of opening day over at Georgia Tech at Bobby Dodd, and apparently that was invented by some supporters in the tunnel underneath I-85 walking to the stadium.
We need more of that kind of organic, creativity. Doesn't need to be anything special, just a little bit of ABC. We can figure it out.
Right.
Do you think we're going to have another game anytime soon at Bobby Dodd as a little retro throwback?
I don't think so. I mean, it's Arthur's Stadium and it's Arthur's team, and we're going to be here. And, this is good. When they've had U.S. Open Cup, they've looked to move it around a little bit. I think, where the Atlanta United 2s play up in Kennesaw might be the alternate for that. But
so, anything new in the stadium this year? Anything new with the setup in what the fans can expect, or same old?
I was looking this morning to see, whether or not even this game is going to be sold out, right? So it's open to the full capacity, right? Which is the 72,000, and my feeling is that it's close, but not necessarily sold out. The question is whether it'll sell out, with last-minute walk-ups, etc.
I heard Charlotte's going to try to finally close our record on the largest attendance. You think that's going to happen?
No.
You don't think so? Unfortunately, they probably will cook the books and make sure that happens. Right?
Yeah, they're going to have 5,000 and call it 500,000.
They want their headline to be 75,000 at the...
I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, surely their stadium holds that, right? But the question is, do you really think, maybe if they have a one-off novelty, they can get there, right, for the new team. But, does that really count if they can't do it regularly or more than once?
Oh, MLS will count it. That's for sure. They want their headline and they'll get it.
Yeah, I mean they looked poor in the opening day, and sadly, our
Khan got
Alec
beat
Khan,
up. Oh man, 5-0, right?
Not only 5-0, but add insult to injury, right? He gives up an own goal in the 90th minute. The fifth goal was an own goal off of Alec Khan, right? So. Tough luck, Alec. It's not your fault. You play in Cincinnati.
So maybe it wasn't the goalkeeper before. It was maybe the defense and oof.
Yeah, maybe they were blaming too much the goalkeeper, but it didn't seem like it was much his fault, but it's a tough opening day. Do you think we can get some interviews with people here in the tailgate?
If the audio cooperates, we could ask Quentin to throw on the headphones here. He's nearby you. Quentin,
will you join us for a little bit of a? I can. Let me get cleaned up. Okay.
Kevin Sullivan, hop on the mic there. Put on the headphones. We're gonna ask you a few ATL on Fire trivia questions just to make sure you're sharp.
ATL on Fire trivia here in the parking lot. Let's go.
Can you give that mic a test there? I don't know. Oh, no,
you got to turn it up.
Now give it a go. Oh, you sound beautiful. All right. All right. So, Kevin, how many teams are in the MLS this year?
The first two. All right, my silverbacks. 3 down. Right right there next to that shopping
30.
center where there's that McDonald's.
34 is the, 28 is the correct answer.
28.
I almost said 28.
28 is the
You're
correct
almost
answer.
there.
Yeah.
I heard an interview with Garber the other day, and he was saying that they think they can get to
They're
32.
going to get to 30 and 32. They have already. So St. Louis is on tap, right? They've
Okay.
already been tapped as a new team, right?
Yeah.
I know that Indianapolis was really mad that they didn't get a team and then Charlotte swooped in and
Right.
grabbed one of the franchises.
How do you feel about Charlotte? You know, they're trying to claim that they're our new rival, right? So originally our rival was Orlando, which is not really that close. And then
They tried to shift it to Nashville, right?
Nashville is then our rival, and then Charlotte is now our rival. But so for you as a supporter, who's our rival?
Well, I would say it was Nashville, but didn't they move Nashville to the West now?
They are in the Western
So
Conference.
now
So
they're
can
not
they
in-
be our rival if
No.
they're not in our conference?
I don't think so.
That's a good call, Kevin. I
So
mean,
Charlotte, no.
they're at least
So
in the East.
they're going to get, 73,000 at that
They're gonna try.
place up there.
They're going to try. We
All
were
right.
just discussing that. What
I-
do you think?
I-
Can they do it?
Yes, I do think they can do it,
Okay.
but will it last?
No.
That's what Dave
They
was
can
saying.
get one.
They
Yeah.
can get one game.
Yeah. So
We
can
didn't
they
put
con-
them up to that, by the way.
Can they consistently get 60,000 like we do here, or 70,000?
Yeah.
No.
No.
The
So no,
answer
I don't
is
think
no.
they're going to be a rival.
So the
I gotta say Orlando
I got
because
another-
Orlando fans are the worst.
yeah,
They
they
really
are the
are
worst.
terrible.
I agree.
I have another ATL on fire trivia question for you. Ready?
Yes.
True or false? If I'm an MLS player and in game 1 I get a yellow card, and then I have 5 consecutive games of no yellow cards, will my first yellow card be erased?
No.
That was a no?
No.
You're incorrect. There's a good behavior rule, which I was
Good
reading
question.
the guidelines. Yeah, right? Who knew that? Has anybody had that happen ever? I don't know. We've never heard
Is
of
it possible to
Is
go
it
5
possible?
games without a
It would,
card?
LGP, that would have never been possible, right?
Or Dobbs or you.
Nah, no way.
Or your playing days. Yeah, you're not going 5
Hey.
days.
Hey,
You're not going
Yeah.
5 days without another yellow.
Oh, put Mark on. Mark's
5 hours.
Mark's
without-
going to join.
5
Yeah,
hours.
throw the headphones on. Come on, we got an ATL on fire trivia question for you.
Thanks for having
Come
me,
on.
guys.
Come on, Mark.
We're trying to entice more tailgaters.
Yeah.
Stump me.
So hey, we've got Mark on the podcast here, huge ATL on fire fan. Who won the supporter shield last year?
That would have been.
In the East or the West?
Putting you on
We'll
the spot.
take either.
Oh,
Well, if it's the West, wasn't it Colorado?
oh, I don't know. Now you've thrown it back on me. I only thought there was one supporter shield. Am I wrong on that?
No, yeah, you're right. There's only
yeah,
one.
there's
so
only one.
Okay.
It was who wound up with the best record?
Yeah.
It was Colorado, I thought.
It was New England.
New England.
Red-
Oh, no, you
the
got it.
Reds.
That's right.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ran
That's
away
right.
with it under Bruce Arena.
That's right, because the
Believe it or
big
not.
shock when they went out. Yeah,
So do you think we're going to win today?
I don't know. I haven't seen our starting lineup, so
It doesn't look great. Run through our starting lineup again. What was it?
You know, I mean, I think the back four is for sure, going to be Gutman on the left. It's going to be Campbell and Campbell and Robinson in the middle. And then the question is out wide on the right. Are we going to have Brooks Lennon? Is he really even available? Or is it going to be Hernandez? I think maybe both. We were talking about maybe both are going to be available, and then you might see Hernandez playing behind Brooks Lennon. But in any case, the midfield is decimated, right? So there's no Sosa, there's no Almada, there's maybe Moreno.
Yeah.
Maybe. If he makes it, then obviously he's in the lineup. If not, it's just Araujo, Josetu. I am sure you're going to see the debut of Osvaldo, and obviously Martinez up top.
So Mark Gillespie, you've been a season ticket holder since when?
since the beginning.
Since the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah.
right? Die-hard Atlanta United fan.
Absolutely.
What got you into getting season tickets at Atlanta?
Well, actually, my husband was the one that mentioned it. He said when we heard about the team coming, he said, do you want to get season tickets? I mean, I played soccer growing up
Yeah.
and into college and everything, and he didn't follow it at all. So he had never actually been to a game. And I said, well, yeah, heck yeah, I'd like to get tickets. That'd be great. So we got him, and he got the bug immediately.
Yeah.
The first game at Tech, he was just all over it. So
You see did you get one of these blankets?
Yeah, sure did.
So
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
the
those are pretty cool.
the Bobby Dodd backdrop here.
And what's your typical tailgate routine? Do you come and tailgate, or do you just go straight to the stadium?
No, it depends. Most of the time we try to tailgate. We try to get over here and hang out with resurgence or whoever's got some beer.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, that's usually our routine. So,
Well, I put you on the spot here. Thanks for
No,
Thank
man,
you
no
so
problem.
much for
I
joining
feel like
the
a moron.
podcast.
I couldn't even think of New England. I feel like a moron.
That's all right. It's tough on the spot.
All right, guys.
Grab a beer. We'll see you in there.
All right, thanks, man.
All right. What else do we got going on here? Before we're doing the power, by the way, on the remote podcast. We could probably go a full hour here. Looks like
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Who knew technology?
Turned off the third mic. That sounds a little bit better. There. Look at that. Boom.
See, you
Yeah.
know, even
I'm gonna put you to work.
For those of you wondering what just happened, is I was able to turn down
Yeah.
that microphone on the soundboard, but so that's not usually my thing. I'm usually
Yeah, we're gonna train you up.
sidekick.
Well, we were also talking. So the lighting in the podcast we did on Wednesday night, I
Yeah.
don't know if you watched. It was awful. We looked like a little ghoulish.
Oh.
So I apologize. We're gonna get the lighting correct in the basement.
Hey, sometimes it's got to be a little dark.
Yeah.
Right?
No, we had the light. The light was too much on us, so we figured out the way that the lights are. It needs to.
Oh, I see.
We've got it, and I forgot the backlighting too, which makes a big difference. So
Are you saying our future is so bright that
we're gonna be a little more attractive, which
Okay.
is hard to believe on the next one.
Is it possible to make you more attractive, Mikey?
You know,
I mean,
think
for me, I think it's a lost cause.
the,
But
the
for
dad
you,
bod is in full effect, man.
yeah. So what can you see out in the parking lot? How are we doing
Yeah, I
for
mean,
ATL fans? Right. So it's now 1:15. Right, we're an hour and 45 minutes to go before kickoff. We're coming to you from right behind the Elliot Street Pub. So in the future, if you want to come down and check the podcast, we might be doing it. But
Well, first off, it's not really dumping rain, which I was kind of expecting to.
praise, yes.
So thankfully, it hasn't been too nasty. It hasn't been too cold. I thought it was going to be a little more chilly than it was too. It's actually pretty comfortable.
Not
out here.
too bad. It's really not too bad.
I don't know. At first, I thought it was going to be extremely busy, but maybe that's going to happen in the next 15 minutes here.
Yeah, I think in the next 45 minutes it's going to be chaos around here. But yeah, I mean.
Hey Kevin, did the truck go off again? No, it's still running. He's right by the tailpipe. No connection, dude.
I don't know if I got anything else, Dave, but you hit me with a question.
Hit you with a question. What's your favorite tailgate memory from Atlanta United? Right? Do you have a favorite moment?
It's still the first one. It was the one that
Bobby Dodd.
I had bought season tickets through you as a
Right.
secret from my wife, who's over here talking about buying another jersey today. She's a huge fan now. It was just that whole first kind of vibe of people who were fans of soccer in Atlanta. Right behind the AT&T building, it was a great tailgate.
Right in Midtown,
Saw
over
a
by
bunch,
the varsity.
It's a great place to see people you don't see all the time too. That come down here, and I see friends from high school I haven't seen in years. So it's a great spot every few months to catch up with people.
I remember in that tailgate that we were flipping burgers and dogs, and the guys who came next to us, who subsequently became our friends from Peru, owns a Peruvian restaurant, and came and started sauteing up these steaks or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were like, man,
I think he owned a carniceria.
Yeah.
Like on,
my goodness.
Yeah, they-
up on Buford Highway.
we did a
right,
little
somewhere.
cultural
And-
trade back and forth.
Yeah,
there.
we're like, we'll trade you a hamburger or a hot dog for one of those. And then we upped our game, right? So we set out to make our game better, and we tried a series of recipes and came up with our Atlanta United flank steak.
Yeah, so good.
Which is it's a soy sauce, and it's garlic, and it's got some red wine vinegar and some black pepper and honey on a flank steak. We marinate that for 2 days, and they're cooking that right over there somewhere. Matt Newt, where's the flank steak? I haven't put on the flank steak yet. I guess they're waiting for that as the as the final course. We're just in the appetizer phase, right? Just the tacos, right?
Yeah. Quentin, is any food coming off the grill yet?
Yeah, there's grilled steak. The grilled steak is up now.
Okay.
And then the tacos are coming.
We're just talking about Dave's secret recipe on the flank steak.
Which is tremendous. I've had it before. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite tailgating moment, Quentin?
Just anytime I'm with you, Dave. That's my favorite.
He's sucking up, dear podcast listeners. He's just hoping to get the flank steak.
I'll get some flank steak.
Are you drinking Bud Light there?
Well, I actually Googled to see who was the #1 beer in Missouri. It's Bud Light. It's Bud Light. So I
Did
got
you
Bud
really
Light.
pick by what's the best
No,
beer in our opponent's state?
Not the best. The #1
Number
beer
one, most
in
popular.
Missouri,
Yeah, right.
So I couldn't find any like local craft beer. There's a company called Boulevard from Kansas City.
Yeah,
So I
Boulevard's
just went
good.
with Bud Light.
Boulevard.
But Boulevard's
And I can drink Bud Light all day long. You know, there's no side effects.
What's your prediction for the score today?
It's going to be 3.
3 for us.
3 for us, 3 for the goods.
And how many for the Kansas Cities?
I'm going to say 2.
3-2. That'd be a bad.
We did poach Dom Dwyer from them, right?
No, that was Orlando, I think.
But he was at Kansas City.
Yeah, originally
before.
he started at Kansas City. Quentin's showing the deep knowledge of the MLS.
then
He was
was
just Dom Dwyer. He's my favorite.
And then
player.
he was at Toronto.
And he's married to U.S.
No,
national team.
they're
women's player.
divorced.
They're divorced?
They
Oh,
did.
God.
I looked
See,
it up.
now you found my weakness. Right? The
you don't-
gossip pages. I have no
Well,
idea.
I looked it up because I saw that we signed him, and I'm like, I wonder why we did that. But so I just looked at the back.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Is that when his scoring stopped, when he got divorced?
Did it ever start? I mean, I loved it when he was at Orlando because you know he wasn't going to finish. And
Yes.
So
yeah.
it was no
It was like,
danger.
oh, he's right in front of the goal.
He'll
No.
work really hard, though.
Yeah.
Really hard.
We could just double team everybody else and
He'll
leave
work-
him open.
He's like Kubo.
Yeah. It's the definition of insanity. It's like, why do we keep doing this?
Yeah, the same player.
Yeah. Same player.
We were talking about on the podcast. You want to tell him when the last time that Don Dwyer scored a goal?
2019.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
That's
been
a
a
good
while.
signing, right?
But he was injured, too.
Yeah, but
So,
still.
doesn't matter.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. 2 years of not scoring a goal.
I believe that,
That's a big
that
hill to
Joseph
climb.
Martinez scored goals even when he was injured and not playing.
It's true.
He scored 13 last year. didn't
Yeah. He scored.
With
He
a
might
broken
be-
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. He scored over 10. I know that. So it was 11 or 12, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 13. I don't know.
Yeah, on half a leg.
Yes, he was like 65%.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
get him in the box.
Yeah.
He'll score.
So you're saying you don't think Don Dwyer is going to outscore Joseph Martinez?
Over what period of time? If you give Dom, 30 games, Joseph's 3 games, maybe. I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, I hope there's no Dom.
Going back
haters
to the
out there.
original, do you have a true favorite tailgating moment or Atlanta United history moment?
An Atlanta United history moment?
I mean, you were there at the final, right when we won it all, MLS Cup.
That's probably my favorite. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty deep in, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was a big blur. A lot of fun.
We did win.
Yes.
Just to remind you, Clinton, in case you know.
We're going to win again.
So yeah, what's your prediction for this season? Where are we going to finish?
Near the top, and we'll get in the playoffs.
That's what we were saying.
We'll see how the season ends.
I said second in the overall table or in our conference.
Does it concern you that so many players are not available today?
Yes, it does, but I mean, that's what always happens at the beginning, right? And Kansas City, I think, has been playing in the Champions League, so they're probably pretty fresh.
One of the things I was interested in thinking about, right, is that, so with Atlanta United being this really ambitious club, right, where we're signing young and trying to move players on, and so there's constantly going to be some flux. And one thing that happens when you have that and you don't have a team coming back like Kansas City does, right, there's always a problem at the beginning of the season, right, because you're trying to get everybody incorporated, whatever. And my worry is Atlanta United has they play, as you know, because I know you're a fan of the MLS rules and all the craziness, right? They play all these crazy games where they try to get an extra international, they send somebody off to Argentina to get a visa last minute or a green card so that we can bring in another international. And when you constantly do that on top of moving players on, is the ownership, is the leadership, Bokenegger and Eels, are they setting us up every year for a slow start? Are they putting the coach behind the 8 ball by doing that? Because it's you can argue it away 1 year, you can argue it away 2 years, but we keep doing this, and we've had a couple of slow starts, right?
It seems to be their formula, that's for sure.
Well,
Yeah, and I love the formula. If you're a coach, you got to love that, because eventually that means that he's going to bring you an Almada, and he's going to bring you the guy who they're trying to sign right now.
Yeah, it's not going to happen every
Lewis?
Dupuy.
Yeah, Dupay, not going to come.
Matt Knoop was saying no from what his readings.
Well,
I mean, I
Miles
thought that
Robinson-
was the reason to clear an international spot, is to try to get Dupay at the last minute.
Yeah, well, it's
But-
good they shipped Barco off, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, they've got Miles Robinson playing international too coming up, so there's going to be that was interrupting things last year too.
Yeah, and that you gotta love, right? You have no problem with us having players that do really well and become U.S. internationals and miss games. MLS, you got to understand, it's a summer season, so it overlaps with some international breaks. That's always going to happen. Everybody's going to deal with that, and we're built to deal with that, right? So when Robinson goes away, we have Alan Franco and George Campbell. It should be okay. That I'm okay with, and you can, as a fan, you want that to happen because that means your players are good, right?
Yeah, well, and Lennon might go too.
Yeah, right. But I think the craziness about the preseason and trying to play all these games, on top of being the kind of club that's selling and moving on, I'm just worried that you're setting up, every year for a slow start.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the teams in the league are in a similar position, though, aren't they?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're playing the kind of as many games. They don't have the money to try and sign the 3 designated players and the 2 extra internationals and the young international. They can't, so they're not having to do all that.
Right, the smaller clubs.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, I don't know. Even New England the other day looked like they were kind of right out of the gates playing the way they were last year.
Yeah, full side. They got their starting lineup at least, right?
Yeah. So I'm still very worried about who our real 90-minute starter is behind Joseph Martinez. Now that we apparently aren't going to sign this other guy, it's not Dom Dwyer, it's not Jackson Conway, or it could be, but he's got to show us that he can do it.
Well, the answer is if Martinez goes down for any length of period of time, it's a false 9, right?
Yeah.
And so then it
Araujo.
becomes probably Moreno as the false 9 or Araujo, but probably Moreno, and then they got the dynamic players behind them.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'd rather have a true, outstanding backup, striker, because the other thing is if you don't have a true backup striker, then you kind of have to start Martinez like every game, and he could use some rest occasionally, some rotation.
No, we were just saying, so, sorry, I turned on your mic because it was getting a little feedback. Check your phone. We got any updates there?
No, I don't think we have a lineup yet. I can refresh the Twitter, but you can see, dear podcast listeners, that everybody has the same concerns every time, right? The lineup coming out a little late, not knowing who the injured players are, right?
Yeah.
It's not just us.
The parking lot's still not really filled out here.
It's not hopping yet, but it's filling up.
Yeah.
More than
That's
I
for
thought.
sure.
Well, the rain held off, which is great. I thought it was supposed to rain until 3, so we're getting a little lucky.
Yeah, and there's no lineup yet on the Twitters.
Well, Dave, I don't know about you, but my stomach's starting to rumble a little bit.
Yep, I think we might be reaching the end of our very first inaugural Tailgate podcast.
Well, first off, we did this in the rain, which I was a little sketched out to do with bringing...
Yeah, you took a little bit of persuading, but kudos to you for coming through.
And kudos to you for pushing me. Quentin, thank you for joining. And, so we'll do this again. It's going to be way more fun on a sunny day where we can get some of the fans on the microphone, bring them over here. This was more of just a little bit of a pilot, see if we could even do it.
Talk about it all.
The battery pack is at 75%, so that means that we could probably do this for about a 2-hour podcast if we wanted to.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll think about maybe even doing a live one.
Yeah. I think we'll figure out how to get Wi-Fi. That shouldn't be too hard. The phone should be able to do that somehow.
Yeah, so
some black magic that we can use.
all you podcast listeners out there, we'll see you in the game. Let's hope for a good start, not the slow start that I'm predicting.
Yes. Thank you for listening, and this is ATL On Fire podcast. Ring the bell, subscribe, tell a friend.
Stay with us.